Hello, sports fans. I'm Zach Ridge. This is my buddy, Chad Johnson.
How you doing?
Tonight you're going to see the most spectacular first annual Shotgun Showdown.
That's right, Zach. Tonight we have the championship title on the line. Heavyweight championship title on the line. We're going to look at our competitors.
But first,
We have to take a look at the rules of the game.
excellent. As promised, we're going to go over some of the rules, regulations, and how things are done in the League of Beer Chugging. Now, Chad, I'd like you to explain some of the rules and regulations, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the differences between some of those regulations. Chad?
Well, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the sport, shotgunning is a race, not only against time, but against a competitor. The idea is to get all the beer in this can into your stomach as fast as possible, beating the clock and your competitor. There are two ways to do it. One, the traditional way, is to shotgun out of the can itself. The other, a more controversial way, it's starting to be used more and more at the judge's discretion, is to pour the beer into a glass and shotgun the actual glass. A lot of people are starting to frown on this new method. However, it's the way the sport is evolving. Zach?
I'd like to make a comment on that. The reason being I don't particularly like the glass portion of it is because what happens is it takes that skill of competition, well, a portion of the skill of competition out of there. What happens when you're doing a beer chug is, if you can zoom in on this, what makes the difference is how well you do your hole. Now, the hole here is placed by a set of keys. Notice stealth keys. What happens is you place the tip of the key into the can, okay, making the hole as symmetrical as possible. Now, you don't want to work it too hard. If you work it too hard, then what can happen is you can foam the beer. If you foam the beer, things get out of hand. Carnage is unbelievable.
Now why don't you show us actually how to shotgun a beer?
Okay, what happens, okay, is I would place a hole, and I will do this, I would place a hole into the can as symmetrical and as large as possible. Some competitors don't do that anymore. They place a very small hole. As you can see by Cade, Cade puts a very small hole, but you'll see that later on. In there, very large symmetrical hole, you pop it and you drink. Now, Chad, what I'd like you to go over is with the glass rules, will I prepare a can here, and then I'll show you how it's done.
Well, this is pretty simple. Imagine a glass. Imagine a beer into the glass, and then just drink it as fast as you can. Pretty lame. Zach?
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that on there on live TV, but what happened there is I placed the key in the can. Move it around a little bit, see, notice the foaming action. Okay, what happens is, oh, that feels good, is you make the hole, oh, I'm foaming over the sides. Okay, make the hole as symmetrical as possible. Oops.
You don't drop your load.
No kidding, eh? A little bit of foam going on there. Try to make it as symmetrical and as large as possible without making it larger than my mouth, but that's kind of tough to do. No kidding, eh?
Well, let's get right to it.
Then we'll get right to it here. Place a key in the bottom of the can to get things going. Just get it primed a little bit. Don't open it. You open it, kids, things happen. You don't want that happening. You prime it up, you get ready. Try not to laugh when you're doing it. You wear a lot of beer.
And here he goes. This is the reason why he's retired national shotgunning champion. Of course, he needs some work.
I drooled a little bit there, but the judges...
Having a little bit of trouble with your swallow control there, eh?
Yes, it's been a while. My oral aperture is a little bit down. But I drew a little bit there. The judges will allow that, as you can see in the forthcoming competition.
Why don't we get right to introducing to the competitors for tonight's bout?
And the stats are as follows.
Let me introduce to you tonight the first of our two competitors. In the blue corner, we have Paul Powerhouse Cairns. Paul hails from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Weighs in at 215 pounds, 5'10.5 inches. And his reach, 26 inches. Paul is new to this level of competition. He spent many years as an amateur drunk, where he's got a record of 5-1-2. Here we see him in an earlier time trial today. Not a bad time. Now, Paul has excellent arm control, really good balance. But if he's going to prevail tonight, he's got to work on that swallow time. Here we see him having a little bit of trouble keeping it down. Definitely something he's going to have to work on if he's going to do anything tonight. Back up.
In the red corner, Killer Johnson! As you saw, oh God, the carnage! And as you saw right there, a horrible opening to a very distinguished match with myself. But we'll ignore that for now. Let's get to his stats. Cade weighs in at 205 pounds. At the tape, he's 5'10" with a reach of 28 inches. Now, he has a slight advantage over Paul with a 28-inch reach, 2 more inches than the 26 inches. But Cairns has a devastating weight advantage of 215 pounds! Anyway, Cade's record is 3-1-1. Not bad. Cairns is 5-1-2, which is slightly better, but not much. Anyway, as you can see by this video here, Cade's mental attitude is stunning. He's very concentrated and thoroughly enjoys this level of competition. Now, as you can see here, yep, there we are, me beaking again. That's why I got disqualified for competition. Too much talking, not enough drinking. Oh, and as you can see there, leveled by Cade Johnson. And it looks like it's going to be one hell of a bout.
Certainly is.
Certainly is. You think so, Chad?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it tonight.
Me too. But you know what I'm looking forward to more? Is a word from our sponsor. Cool.
Crisp.
Glacier.
Fresh taste.
Kokanee beer. Cheers.